So welcome, thank you for agreeing to chat with me today. Do you want to introduce yourself first of all?
Yes, of course. I'm Sara Pickard, and I'm really grateful to be doing this morning.
Lovely. And we were just going to chat a bit, weren't we, about the fact that it is International Day of Persons with Disabilities or Disabled People. And I wondered, what are your thoughts on this event and on the focus this year, which is a day for all? What do you think about that?
I think it's really important. I think not just having one day where you celebrate people with a disability. I think it should be more widespread than that. I think it should be celebrated a lot more in everyday life, not just one particular day. I think that just to have a platform in a way for people who've got a disability to say, here we are doing what we do in everyday life. Because that one of the photos I've sent in of me in South Africa, that vibe that photo brings out is kind of just all us guys celebrating the achievements of people with a disability. And the look at my face in that photo sums it up. I'm like, yes.
And do you want to tell us a bit, what was that, what's that photo from? What were you doing in the picture?
That particular photo, I think it was quite a few years back, but it was basically like a platform for people with Down syndrome, disability. It was like a party vibe. Everyone was, I can't remember specifics of that particular day, but what I do remember is just that feel of everyone cheering and the South African way, music playing and people applauding everyone with a disability.
So it was a celebration rather than a focus on challenges or inequalities or anything like that.
It was a bit of both in a way. Celebrating people with disabilities, and also it was that kind of appreciation, I think, as well. So I think it's a bit of both worlds coming together then.
And I wonder then, you mentioned celebrating and highlighting what people are all about. What message then would you want people, say there's somebody watching today who hasn't heard of this event before or who doesn't know many disabled people, what message would you want to give the general public on International Day of Persons with Disabilities?
Well, yeah, I think that the message I would probably say is just to be able to see people that have a disability doing what they do in everyday life, whatever that might be, trace it, take it in, because I think there's so many times, I think, when people don't know, they don't see disability. I think it's true in lots of different fields of life, whether it's the media, if it's television, if it's on stage in theatre, or politics, like me as a community councillor. I think I'm the only person on that community council that's got a disability as visual. So all those different levels, I think it's just, my message would be, get disability out there in as many different fields of life, see what we are able to do and not what we're not able to do, and hopefully that will give people in the public a better impression of what we are all about.
Absolutely, yeah, I think that's a really powerful message, and that links very much with my research in higher education, doesn't it, talking about the way that you've been part of the course sometimes, and you've taught students, haven't you, through your work with the theatre company. Absolutely. So this, you've shown that perhaps there is a need for this kind of awareness raising or consciousness raising. And my final question was going to be, what could we do to make society more inclusive? So for you, do you think it's about raising visibility of people with disabilities? Is that one of your main points?
Yeah, I think so. I also feel maybe we touched there on education. I think that's one of the key things in the first place, is having the right education out there, the awareness raising, and that should be for anyone, I think. Like with me, I remember doing a little mini project with MenCap on motorised wheelchairs not being able to access something simple like a shop, and asking politicians if they want to actually experience firsthand being in a motorised wheelchair, accessing facilities like shops, and they all refuse to do so. So it's like having that education, having the right education, so whether that's having SEN schools, whether it's just helping a person with a disability, whatever it might be, to get good qualifications. But I also feel that it's common sense in a way, because just to have like a reasonable adjustments put into place, to me, that's just common sense. It would, like, if it was me, and when I first started working for MenCap, I had access to work, got me a chair and a desk that would be to my strength, so I could have proper posture and everything to do my job properly. To have people like access to work, or just employers in general, I think it sounds a bit out there, but employers, I think, should wake up and see what they, could achieve to help. If it's one person with a disability, they're doing their job as an employer right, in a way.
So, absolutely. So I think you make some really important points there. So there's education kind of at all levels, isn't there? So there's educating children to have awareness of disabled people in their communities and what that means, all the way through to higher education, but also, like you say, into the wider community, perhaps less formal educational opportunities, but just chances to meet people and to learn from them.
And sorry, just to add, like when we were saying about like educating younger people, I think that's where it should start. As those kids, in a way, grow up, they'll have a better awareness of what to do when someone with a disability is introduced. Like I did that, I think, when Leo, Denise's little boy, started in Radda Primary, I think. I went in, I talked to them about Down syndrome, how it was like to have someone like Leo in their class, and as wise words that they had for very young people, they love Leo, and then they love the fact that he's in their school. So education from basic young age, seeing that progress, and like my talks to the medical students.
Yeah, absolutely.
Got 2 spheres.
Yeah.
Educating throughout it all.
And perhaps normalising then, isn't it, that disabled people are part of our communities, part of our classrooms, part of our families, part of our education, that shouldn't be...
Our families. So I think sorry.
And maybe that's where a day for all comes in, isn't it? That, disabled people are part of all walks of life, aren't they?
Definitely. And it comes from, like, growing up, doesn't it? Like, when you've got a brother and another brother, or a sister and a sister, you grow up together and you're on par with each other. And I love that. I know that's coming from a personal point of view.
Yeah.
But for us two, I hope that I've inspired you.
Very much
so. And I'm really happy that I'm doing this today to be part of your research.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much. Maybe that's a lovely point to finish. And we hope people will learn a bit more about International Day of Persons with Disabilities by watching our video.
Hopefully, yes.
Lovely. Thank you, Sara.